Good evening, friend. Study with Apala, Engineering Geology. Chapter 3 Geological Work of Natural Agencies. Terminology. A few a few terms that have been repeatedly used in the discussions of work of natural agencies should be understood through thoroughly at this stage. There are weathering, erosion, and denudation. So weathering, it is defined as the process of decay and disintegration of a rock under the influence of a certain physical and chemical agencies of the atmosphere. The decayed and disintegrated product remains generally at or near the parent rock bodies because the weathering agencies do not involve themselves in the removals of the end product to any significant distances. Examples: rock exposed to frost actions at higher altitudes in cold and humid climates disintegrate into small sized fragment that remain strewn over the slopes. Similarly, rocks exposed to heating temperatures of the sun's in the desert gradually disintegrate into smaller pieces that remains lines on or close to the parent rock. Erosion, it is a broader terms signifying the breakdowns of rocks of the crust by such natural agencies that are characterized with some motions as wind, running water, and moving ice by virtue of their velocity. These agent not only gradually disintegrate the rock but also remove the broken particles and fragments to far off distances ranging from a few meters to hundreds and thousands of kilometers. River or originating in the Himalayas take along with them particles and fragments broken down from the rocks of their channels and sides of the lower plains and went to the seas. Were some of them may ultimately reach. Similarly, winds blowing over deserts and dry loose soils remove thousands of tons of these materials from one place to another place and ultimately deposit them in far off areas. Denudations. Denudation, Latin's denuder, means to uncover. It is generally terms expressing the sums total of the process of weathering and erosions operating for a geological long times in a certain regions. A denuded landscape is one that has been produced and is presently exposed as a proof of the collective work of the agencies operating in that area. Examples: a river valley which is presently is much wider than the maximum width of the rivers flowing through it cannot be attributed to the erosion work of the rivers alone. So the process of weathering operating on its sides has also contributed a lot in its widening the debris resulting from the slopes due to weatherings has been contributed to and washed away by the rivers. Most of the valley slopes and hence valleys themselves are features of denudation. Example, they have been exposed to and modified by combined actions of weathering, rain wash, and river erosion. Climate and geological work. The development, evolutions, and devolutions of various geological and geomorphological features on the surface are intimately related to the climate of a particular region. Hence, a working knowledge about a climate as a geological factor in the descriptions of many geological features will be quite helpful. The terms weather and climate are correlated. But some synonyms of weather is described as the phenomenon of heat, cold, rain, air, wind, humidity. It's are experienced on day-to-day basis. Winters, springs, summer, and autumns are truly speaking weathers of an area prevailing for specific durations in sequential manners in any given regions every year. So climate is a much broader terms used on a regional scale and sums up the average influence of many atmospheric phenomena that prevails for times spanning hundreds and thousands of years. The climate is controlled by more characteristic features such as geological locations of regions with respect to longitudes and latitudes. Average annual temperature range, precipitations, rainfall and snowfalls, atmospheric pressures, especially the variations and flow of air masses and front and effect of radiations. In fact, the terms paleoclimate signifies an inferred climate that might have prevailed millions of years ago in a particular region, as evidenced by its effect left on the rocks of those times. Classification: climate has been classified on different bases into groups, classes and subclasses, but three major group of climates recognized on the basis of genesis, origin and movement of air mass and front will only be mentioned here briefly, as they almost sum up the relationship of climate with the geology of an area. So these three climate groups are: Group 1, low latitudes climates. So these are caused and controlled by air masses prevailing in the equatorial and tropical geographic belts. Regions of the earth falling from the equator to 10-degree north and south, and 10-degree to 30-degree north and south respectively experience these climates. This group comprises five classes of climates. Group 2 is middle latitudes climate. As the names indicates, such climates are prevailing in areas of fallings between 20-degree to 60-degree north and south from the equator. This group also has five classes. The climate are principally governed by tropical air masses and to some extent of the polar air front. The equatorial air masses are least interactive. Group 3, high latitudes climates. These are controlled mainly by polar and arctic air masses. Hence, equatorial and tropical air masses have least role to play. These prevail in the areas and lines between 60-degree to 70-degree north and south. Four climates classes are included in this group. The threefold classification and the principal classification of 14 means 5 plus 5 plus 4 formulated climate classes are very briefly mentioned in table 3.4 for quick reference. So don't forget to see and write this type of tables. Make every point right. Forget to make this table. Thank you. Like, support and subscribe this channel. Thank you.